Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Igloo Cinema, and in this episode we are going to be reviewing The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. So before I start this review, I would just like to acknowledge the fact that I've never read a single Lord of the Rings novel, nor have I seen a single Lord of the Rings movie. I think I've seen the first half of the Fellowship of the Ring, but that's basically the extent to my Lord of the Ring knowledge. I was more of a Harry Potter kind of guy, a Narnia kind of guy. So going into this film, I had no idea what to expect. But I just knew that I might be a bit confused. I might be a bit bored. Because I'm not really the audience this movie is for. I was not excited for this movie. I was not expecting this movie. I just went in to watch it as a casual viewer. And you know what? I actually liked it more than I thought I did. And I think the sole reason for this is Peter Jackson creates such a elegant and lush world that really captivates your attention. And even if you're not like a Lord of the Rings fan or the Hobbit fan or whatever, you're still gonna really enjoy this. Now, this movie's not without its faults, like every movie. One of the major concerns I have with this movie is it's way too long. I mean, really, it's really long. There's some scenes I feel like could have been cut out. There are scenes that are really dragged for so long, it's ridiculous. Sometimes I almost forget that other stuff is happening because how long this scene is. I just feel like this movie could have been done better if it was either cut, some scenes were either cut or it was shortened. And it is quite understandable. I mean, they are planning to make 3 movies out of 1 novel, so they're probably gonna, I can assume they include every single detail from the book to really, make the movie as long as it is, so they can make 3 movies. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't be enough for 3 movies, right? But I feel like that is actually kind of a fault, because I feel like, some things in a novel, just can't be translated onto the screen. I feel like that was kind of the case. There's a lot of references, I can only assume, to later Lord of the Rings movies, so if you're not into this world, if you're not familiar with this world, you probably won't understand it. I mean, there are some plot points that are introduced for a bit of time, and then they're never mentioned ever again in the rest of the movie. That could be a bit distracting for a casual viewer like I. But other than that, the story's still very engaging, and the CGI is pretty good most of the time, but I felt like, there are some parts where they were eye-glaringly fake. Maybe that's just me, I have no idea. Like the dragon at the very end, and like some of the orcs and the goblins, maybe, some of them were a bit, they look kind of fake, but most of the time, CGI was fantastic. Now on the acting front, everyone's fantastic. Ian McKellen, he's a great as Gandalf once again. From what I've seen in the first half of the Fellowship of the Ring, I really liked him. I heard great things about him. He's great as Magneto too in X-Men, so he's fine. Everyone's fine. The only slight problem is I find Martin Freeman kind of distracting, and that has nothing to do with his acting ability. I think he's fantastic. But, every time he's on screen, I was kind of reminded of Tim from The Office. And I mean, I don't think that probably isn't his fault, but, like, he plays Bilbo kind of similarly to Tim in, facial gestures and, like, sometimes his reactions remind me of Tim from The Office. He just, like, and, like, it's hard to explain, but, it was kind of distracting, but maybe that's just me and my love for the BBC sitcom. I never know. I don't know. But, he's still fantastic. It's just like, it kind of reminded me of Tim. But, it's a great sitcom. It's great, whatever. But overall, he's fine. He's fantastic. Don't worry about it. Just a little nitpick, and probably just me. Yeah, everyone else is fine. The characters, I've heard a lot of people say the dwarves weren't memorable, but honestly, I can say they were. I mean, I remember every distinctive dwarf and everything, so that's fine. The only other small problem is I feel like Bilbo in the middle of the movie is less focused, and I forget he's the main character, and I forget his importance in the film. But, it's fixed towards the end where the focus is turned back to him, but that's just a small problem. But yeah, other than that, the characters, the acting, fantastic. So in conclusion, this film is very enjoyable, but I think this movie was made more towards Lord of the Rings fans, and it is not newcomer friendly in my opinion. So be warned, if you are not into the series, if you're not a fan of the series, there's a big chunk of the movie that you might find really boring and uninteresting. But if you're a hardcore Lord of the Rings fan, you will love it for sure. I guarantee it. It's, fantastic. But that's just my opinion. There could be some exceptions. You never know. Different people watch movies differently. So, but from what I can gather, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you probably will enjoy this. If you're not, you probably might not enjoy this. But there's some exceptions like me who is not a Lord of the Rings fan, but I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, but if there was any incentive to watch the movie as a casual viewer, would be the second half of the movie, because it gets a lot more fast paced. The pace goes right there, and it becomes more actiony, and if second half is worth the admission for sure. If you're a casual viewer, watch it for the second half. It's crazy fantastic, and yeah, I mean, this movie actually made me more interested in the Lord of the Rings world and the magical elements and whatnot. So it must be doing something right, because it really captivated me, and I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. So at the end, I give this movie an 8 out of 10. It's definitely a great movie. It is not bad at all. I mean, it might do better if it was a bit newcomer friendly, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, it is for Lord of the Rings fans first, and then, whatever. Peter Jackson knows his shit for sure. And yeah, go check it out. Casual viewer or Lord of the Rings fan, what have you. You might find yourself really enjoying this movie. So yeah, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next Igloo Cinema. If you like this video, like it. If you like it even more, favorite it. If you like it even more, share it. Subscribe for updated content. The Black Couch, Music Box, Trailer Box, Igloo Cinema, what have you. And that's about it. I'll see you guys later.